What's up guys, Universal Mastery. So in today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is DAATH and the ABYSS. So stay tuned. Okay. So what I'm going to be telling you is from my own personal gnosis of what DAATH and the ABYSS is and what it is like to be in that sphere. What it is like for your consciousness, what to expect, and just kind of give you an overall summary of my experience from being in DAATH and the ABYSS. So the first thing that I can say, and the first thing that I do want to actually address right now, is I've been initiating through the tree on the night side. And I've been going through this initiation literally for like almost a year now. It's literally been, I'm on my 11th month. And you know, I've been going through this process for a while. What I found from the tree of death is what we call the night side tree, is that it will also connect you to the tree of life. It will also connect you to the day side. I'm gonna make a whole video on that, but I'm not gonna go in depth on it on this video. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because where I'm at in my initiation right now is I am in, excuse me, sorry, I was just eating some almonds and it's getting to me now. So I am in DAATH. I am in the ABYSS right now. That is the part of the initiation that I am in right now. So the best way that I can explain it is, if you know anything about the tree, and I am going to make a video on this once again, and I highly recommend that if you do not know about the tree, that you go and watch that video first before you watch this video. But in the initiation process, you're going through different spheres. So it starts at the very, bottom or top, however you want to look at it, and you either work your way up or you work your way down. So once again, the sphere of DAATH is said to be a hidden sphere, meaning it is, you can't see it. It is a secret, special, hidden sphere. And in order to master these spheres, master this knowledge, gain a higher understanding, gain a broader sense of wisdom and power, essentially overall, is you have to initiate through these spheres. You have to work through them and actually approach them with the mindset of, I want to become more powerful. I want to become more wise. I want to understand more of who I am and how this world operates and how I can achieve my purpose. And through this initiation, you will figure out what your purpose is. So, so DAATH. So DAATH. That is how it is spelled. And what DAATH is that's the sphere. Okay, that is the sphere that takes you into the ABYSS. So DAATH, you can look at it as a gateway. Okay, so DAATH is a gateway. And at this gateway, there are two specific beings that basically stand guard as the gatekeepers to the ABYSS. So you definitely want to get on good terms with them. And those two gatekeepers are going to be Karanzan and Shugal. Now, does that mean they're the only ones that have contributions to the ABYSS and have any connections to the ABYSS? Absolutely not. There are other beings that dwell in the ABYSS and can guide you through the ABYSS and show you certain things. Many of the beings and entities on the night side can guide you through the ABYSS. So basically, you have to go through the gate of DAATH, and then you're in the ABYSS. So basically what I can explain it is, and first thing first, like it's called crossing the abyss. So once you get to that gateway, the goal to initiate is to cross the abyss, is to work your way through. And once again, right now at the place of my initiation, I'm at that point where I am in the abyss. I have been to the gateway, I have crossed into the abyss, and I am still in the abyss. I still haven't crossed over yet. So I'm going to give you my experience of what it was like getting to the gateway, and what it was like, and what it is like being in the abyss itself right now. And I'm going to give you kind of a psychological understanding of what you're going to expect when you have this process occur, if this is going to be a process that you're one day going to dive into, or if this is something you just want to have knowledge on. But always remember this, guys, like, knowledge is just knowledge. You have to transmute it to power in order for it to benefit you in your life. So you can know a lot of things, you can be very intelligent, you can be very smart, but if you're not applying, then it's pointless, because you need to apply these things to your life to bring in that current of energy. So my experience getting to DAATH was very, very intense. So they say crossing the abyss is probably the most important part on the whole tree itself. Now that's debatable whether that's the most important part, but it is a really important part, and it's a very significant part, because throughout the entire initiation, and you may be resonating with the things that I'm saying right now, and maybe have not consciously walked the tree of life or death, okay? So you can still resonate with this, because these spheres govern us as the beings that we are. So pretty much everyone's going to resonate with the things that I'm saying right now. Leading up to DAATH, you're gaining skills through every sphere leading up to DAATH. You're gaining knowledge. You're gaining new insights about yourself. You're learning new techniques about how you can achieve the things that you want and need to achieve. Mostly what you need to achieve to become this powerful being that you're here to be. So you're gaining all this wisdom. You're working on the shadow, working all the way up through these spheres, and then you get to DAATH. And DAATH is a very traumatizing sphere, meaning that you're going to get to a place, and I'm not going to say this is going to exactly happen for everyone, but from my experience, this is what happened to me, and for a lot of other practitioners' experience, this is what happens to them, is you're going to, working through the tree, you're going to have a lot of traumatizing experiences, but you're able to work through them. You're able to, have this deep knowing and empowerment, okay, this is tough, but I'm making it through, or this is crazy, I can't believe it, yada, yada, yada. But then when you get to DAATH, it's almost like there's these traumatic events that happen, or maybe one traumatic event that really shocks you, really shocks your mind, in a sense of, it makes you almost feel powerless. It makes you feel like you're hitting this threshold of you can't go farther. You can't pass into the gateway of DAATH unless you change your state of mind. So in order to enter the abyss and go through DAATH, you're going to have a state of mind shift. So by working on the sphere of DAATH, by opening that portal, by opening that gateway and initiating that change, there's going to be a certain event that happens that will cause you to have that state of mind shift. Now, if you are aware of how magic works, if you are aware how you work, how you operate, how your mind operates, if you are aware of these things, then entering into the abyss can be a very easy process, going right through, because you already know the state of mind that you're going to have to be in, and you can just get into that state of mind, and then you will travel into the abyss. But for most people, and even my experience, I'm pretty aware. I know what's going on a lot of the time, and I know my mind. I'm pretty aware of my thoughts. I'm pretty aware of my states of mind. But for me, it was hard for me, because walking this process, I've become this powerful being, and I have all these skills and all these attributes in my physical life, in the material realm as well. Like I'm growing very fast. Like I'm getting promoted. I'm in a high position in my job, and I've got a lot of responsibility. But when you go to enter the abyss, once again, in order to cross through the gateway of DAATH, you have to change your consciousness. And what that change of consciousness is going to feel like is it's going to be like a nothingness state of consciousness. That's literally probably like the best way I can describe it. You have to become nothing, meaning you have to let go of all sense of time. You have to let go of sense of identity. You have to let go of pretty much all things that make you who you are. Like the things that make you grasp or grasp you down to like, this is who I am, this is me, like this is the energy I bring to the table. You got to let go of that and literally rely on your intuition and faith, like guiding you through this dark primordial chaos, which is the abyss. So once again, you have to shift that consciousness to enter in there. So if you don't know about that and you don't know what that state of consciousness is for yourself, when you get to the sphere of DAATH, there's going to be a triggered event that causes you to have that state of mind shift. So I'm going to share with you kind of like what happened with me. I'm working my job, I'm climbing really fast. I mean, extraordinarily fast, like really fast. And I've only been in the company for a short amount of time. A certain situation manifested the day. Okay, so I started working with the abyss. So I drew the sigil. I opened it up as a gateway. So now I'm opening my energies, and I'm saying, and I did a ritual for it. I'm calling on the entities that are going to, take me into the abyss and guide me through it and fill me with the wisdom that I'm asking for and what I'm looking for. So I do that ritual. Then the next day I have a situation manifest at work where somebody, it was just, a weird situation with a customer that usually never happens. And it caused me to change my position in my job because, once again, I was responsible for a lot of people at the position I was at because I'm a person of power. So I know how to manage people. But when you're in the abyss, remember, you have to let go of all these things. You have to let go of your identity. I had to let go of that position that I was in order to cross this sphere. And so it caused me to lose that position, and then I got relocated to a place that is more attuned to the abyss, meaning there's a lot less responsibility, and I can go through this process and still maintain my job and pay all my bills and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, pretty much the abyss is this place of there's going to be certain things that happen that are going to make you want to you might get scared, or you might think like, oh shit, I need to be in control right now, or things are it's just a state of like, you may feel like you're not safe. You may feel like you're not you. Once again, you're going to lose sense of time. You're going to lose sense of who you are. You're not going to speak the same way that you normally speak. You're not going to think the way that you normally speak. It's just going to be, you're going to become that nothingness. You're going to become essentially worthless for the sphere of DAATH. And that's exactly the point. That's exactly the key. That's exactly the state of mind that you need to get into to initiate that sphere. So once again, if you're hard-headed and you're going, just like I was, you're going through the tree and then you hit that sphere of DAATH, there's going to be something externally that's going to manifest to cause you to completely shift your state of mind so that you can actually enter the abyss. Some people never do that. Some people never let go to that extent. They never become the worthless one, and then they don't end up crossing the abyss because they didn't submit to that sphere. They didn't submit to that darkness to be able to learn from it. So while you're in this state, you have to rely on your intuition. And the more, I can say this, like the more you rely on that, the more you trust, the more you become okay with being, excuse me, with letting go and not being attached to things, and not overanalyzing things, and just receiving this divine wisdom that will streamline itself to you. And it will be very vivid. You will be streamlined certain knowledge while you're going through the sphere that no one else, like that you have never streamlined before. Very intense, like very profound as well. You will know, you'll hear, like a lot of people say, I got this gut feeling. Well, it's a gut feeling and like a knowing, like a speaking, like you can hear it. Like you will like hear some divine words being spoke to you about, you know, what it is that you're truly trying to, you know, achieve in this world, and it will further align you to your purpose. And another thing I realized is it really, like, the point of DAATH is to really flesh out the people that are not serious about this path, and in the sense of, if you're going into this path just looking for power to control others and lead them down dark paths, and lead them down, I shouldn't say dark paths, but lead them down paths that are going to be, like, ruin their entire life, and you're going to throw the world's soul off balance, then this sphere is going to really test that, and it's going to see, where is your heart really at? Who are you to your soul level? Who are you at your core essence? And the people that are in this for the wrong intentions are going to get fleshed the fuck out in this sphere. And that is the entire point. Remember, it is a gateway leading into the abyss, and beyond the abyss is where that true power lies, where you reach the crown of Thaumael, or you reach Kether, whatever paradigm you're viewing it from. And it's, you know, from my experience, crossing the abyss is going to last somewhere around a month. Each sphere for me has been roughly under or over a month. That's why it's taken me almost a year to initiate through the whole tree, because, you know, there's 12 months in a year. So there's 10 spheres, and 11 being DAATH is the hidden sphere. So yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, it really fleshes the people out that have bad intentions. But if you are truly dedicated to your own self-development, if you are truly dedicated to, you know, walking a path of purpose and power, you know, because real purpose is the most raw form of pure power, then you will be just fine. And it will cause you to trust the beings that you're working with. It will cause you to trust in the divine. So that's another thing. So like, some people get into this path, and then they start having the mindset like, maybe this is just all psychological. Maybe this is like, and yeah, it is all psychological, but you also have to understand the mix of the spirituality behind it, the mix of the actual spirits behind it. And in this, you know, some people will work through the spheres, they'll become so powerful, and they'll realize, like, they might think to themselves, like, maybe this is just my mind doing all this. Like, maybe there are no beings outside of me as well. And when you enter DAATH, that's going to show you that these beings are actually outside of you as well as inside of you. But they are actually external too. Like, they are their own essence as well, their own current as well. And some reasons why people don't pass through is because they don't grasp that understanding, and that can cause them to go insane. Because like, that tests you. Like, if you are like, the areas that you're not aligned, the areas that you think you know it all, it's going to flesh that all away from you, and it's literally going to cause you to just be heart driven and intuition driven, I should say, because you're just relying on what you're receiving from the divine currents that you're pulling from. So yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much it. So I haven't crossed the abyss yet, so I can't really go into that yet, but I'm going to make a video on the tree. The tree, I just call it the tree because the tree of day, the tree of night, you know, I find that walking the tree of the night side connects you also to the tree of day side. Especially if you're actually working through the tree and you're trying to get the most out of it, it will connect you in that way. So I'm going to make a whole video on that. I'm going to go more in depth after I initiate through the abyss. But right now, this was my experience. So if you're watching this, I hope this could definitely give you some clarity. Other than that, make sure you go and hit the like and subscribe button. and hit the notification bell because I'm posting videos as often as I can, and it definitely supports my channel. And also drop down in the description below, I have a link for my merch, and it has sigils on it. So it's a very powerful symbol that I placed on this shirt specifically. So when you wear it, you can literally harness energy just by other people charging it, and it shows just a sign of respect to the beings that work in your life. You know, you can see the types of sigils that I have. And yeah, go check that out. But other than that, I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. So have a great rest of the day or night wherever you're at, and peace.